Hello and greetings from the Royal Academy of Arts in London. I'm Tim Marlow and this is my selection of must-see shows from around the world this February. First up, an exhibition on its maiden voyage at London's Victoria and Albert Museum. Ocean Liners Speed and Style explores for the very first time the design of the magnificent vessels and their cultural influence as symbols of progress and 20th century modernity. From cabin fashion and lifestyle to architecture and the engineering that powered this romantic mode of travel, the exhibition will feature more than 250 objects, including paintings, interiors, sculptures, textiles, furniture, photographs and film. Some of the objects haven't been together since their time at sea. Ocean Liners Speed and Style runs from the 3rd of February, and I'll certainly be on board. Next up, in New York, a mid-career survey of the compelling and diverse output of the Vietnamese-born Danish conceptual artist Danh Vo. The Guggenheim will present a comprehensive overview of the artist's output from the last 15 years. The survey will be comprised of more than 100 objects spanning photography, works on paper and installations from various points in his career. Several new projects created for this presentation will sit alongside early works such as Vo Rosasko Rasmussen, in which the artist married and divorced important people in his life in order to accumulate their last names, in an exhibition which promises to showcase the full breadth of Vo's practice to date. Danh Vo, Take My Breath Away opens at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum on the 9th of February. My next pick takes us to Russia, to the Pushkin Museum of Fine Art in Moscow, with an exhibition of the pioneering photographer William Henry Fox Talbot. The British scientist and photographer's inventions in photography in the 1840s changed the face of visual culture in general and the medium in particular. With the calotype technique, he made it possible to create multiple copies of images, and his own body of work possessed a painterly quality which moved photography away from mere documentation and forwards as a potential art form. Around 150 of these prints and negatives will feature in the first ever showing of his photography in Russia. William Henry Fox Talbot, The Origins of Photography, opens on the 6th of February at the Pushkin Museum of Fine Arts in Moscow. And last, and probably most, this year sees an international celebration of work by Austria's most famous artists and friendly rivals, Gustav Klimt and Egon Schiele. Both artists died in 1918, and a century later, their work and influence has become, if anything, even more compelling. First, this month, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston will present 60 drawings by the pair in Klimt and Schiele Drawn. And in November, the Royal Academy will present around 100 in Klimt Schiele drawings from the Albertina Museum, Vienna. These important works on paper promise to draw out the line of influence between the two artists. Vienna in March sees the opening of two exhibitions, Egon Schiele The Jubilee Show at the Leopold Museum, which will present a rich collection of the artist's work accompanied by his poems and writings. Meanwhile, Beyond Klimt, New Horizons in Central Europe at the Lower Belvedere focuses on work from around 80 artists from the post-First World War and post-Klimt era. So those are my must-see shows from around the world this February. I do hope you can see at least one of them.